Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and for once, not something that's kingdoms and castles. I'm back to uploading some Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD content for you guys, and this is a 2 vs 2 siege on large armies, so it's a pretty massive battle. Almost 18,000 men are on the field today. And my poor PC, we're going to have to suffer through it, but it was a really nice battle. We've got some really good players here, and it came down to a pretty nice last stand as well. So hopefully you enjoy this. Be sure to like and subscribe, and of course leave a comment if you think you would like to see anything particular in Medieval Kingdoms 1212 in the future. And without further ado, let's take a look at the army comps. The first army we're going to take a look at in today's battle is the Kingdom of Sicily, commanded by myself, and this was a very high money battle, and it is on large armies. I think it might have been like 30,000 or something per player, so very, very high money. So most people have brought the best of the best. For my archers, I've got 4 units of these Ballistarii, and they are tier 3, and then right in behind I have 6 units of these Lancia Sargente, which is a very solid spear. And then on my towers, I've got 5 units of late period Spadaccini. And then on the rest of my towers, plus my next line of infantry, I have 13 units of the high period Spadaccini. In behind that, I have 4 units of Piscieri, with the King of Sicily over here as well. And there he is, kind of wearing Crown of Aragon colors. But he's got a very nice mace there, ready for battle. I've got a bombard as well that is firing down currently at the walls, but my most elite units are over on this flank here. I've got 2 units of this foot condottieri, which is a polearm, and then I have 3 units of gens de cheval, and I believe that they're all high period cavalry. So that is it for my army, so let's go ahead and take a look at my allies. The second and final attacking army is the Latin Empire, which is commanded by Hohenmaster. And again, he's bringing a very, very large force. If we zoom out, you can see he's got about 10 towers as well. He's got 8 in the front, and he's got a couple that are on the flanks. And on his towers, he's got a bunch of the Sword Milice, which is his standard infantry unit. They're tier 3, very elite. And they also look pretty cool as well. So he has 10 units of them, and then he's got a couple other units that are kind of in the back lines. But he's also got 10 units of these Home d'Armes, and they're early period tier 1. For his archers over here, he has 5 units of the Foot Turcopoles, which are tier 3, and Hohenmaster swears by the Turcopoles. They've got very good missile damage, a lot of good range. Rate of fire is 42, and their ammunition is 20, and they've got really high accuracy as well. So he's going to be relying on those archers to get the work done for him. And way in behind here, he's got 6 units of the Fratres Milites Templi, the dismounted. And for his cavalry, he's got 3 units of the Fratres Milites Templi, that is tier 2 shock cavalry. And then the Latin General, I believe, actually that's him right there. He's got the purple cape on. So we zoom in.
We have destroyed the enemy tower.
So that is the General's bodyguard there. And I believe that rounds out the attackers, so let's go ahead and take a look at the defenders. The first defending army we're going to take a look at in today's battle is the Bazard Voivode, and this is commanded by Hamdog CDXX. And you can see by where I've zoomed in here that this is pretty much the caliber of all of the forces of Hamdog. Lot of militia. No, I'm just kidding. It's a pretty good army, but over here he's got this little other flanking force. Basically, this is to guard this one gate over here, to prohibit us from flanking around. So he's got 2 units of these spear militia in the front lines, followed by 1 unit of Vlach peasants. And then he's got a unit of these Mosneni spearmen. These guys are kind of like pikes, but they've got a little bit shorter of a reach than actual pikemen do, or standard pikemen. So you can see if we look down, they basically are kind of glorified spearmen. But they are tier 3, and they are pretty solid, as we will see in this battle. But we've got some Kirtieni foot archers over here, which look really nice. And then behind he's got a few units of his most elite infantry, the Mosneni of the late period. And the rest of his forces are kind of scattered all around. We'll take a look at them as best as we can, but we'll see a more detailed version in the actual battle. But he's got a couple of these units of Lock Spearmen as well, just tier 1. So I think he's got a bunch of them guarding his general's bodyguard, which is over here. The Vlad Tepes, or Tepe. And look at this glorious guy here. Oh, man. I'm sorry, I know I say this all the time, but he is ready for battle. He's even got like this little plume on his hat and stuff. Looks like it's woven cotton and everything. Very, very nice. But we've got a couple more units of the Mosneni spears over here. Got a unit of Lock spears guarding this choke point, and he also has a lot of his Mosneni for the final defense. And the rest of his forces are over here. He's got some of these Vlok crossbows, more Vlok spearmen over here. Got some more Mosneni of the high period, followed by some more crossbows. So kind of all scattered in and around, and we will see the rest of his army as we actually play through the battle itself. But this is pretty much where he's holding out, is on my side, so he's going to be facing off against myself. And let's take a look at the last defending army, and then we'll get the battle started. The final defending army in today's battle is the Duchy of Lesser Poland, and this is commanded by Max Laser. And I think it's the Duchy, or it might be the Kingdom of Lesser Poland. Anyways, doesn't really matter. You can see these very elite Polish knights moving through the main streets of the city. I think he has about 3 units of them, a mix of high period and late period. And then the rest of his forces are kind of all over the city. He does have a few units, again, of spear militia here, just to hold the choke points. And then we've got a couple of units of these axemen as well, just very light tier 1 infantry. But it's nice to see when they bring not all of the elite of the elite. I like to see, you know, tier 2 and even tier 1 units in these siege battles, because that's basically more historically accurate. To be honest, in most of the sieges, the amount of elite troops that you would see is probably 10%. Here's some more of Hamdog's forces over here, but I think that he does have some halberdiers. If we run over to this side, he's got a bunch of these halberdiers of the late period. Again, looking really nice. Love the Polish colors. And he's got a mix of crossbows and archers as well. He's got a couple of these archer sergeants here, and he's got some crossbow militia. But I don't think he's bringing any pikes. I don't think that Poland can bring any pikes. But I believe that's it. I'm just scanning the rest of the settlement to just make sure I haven't missed any units. I'm sure he has some more elite units than the axemen, but they're probably more towards the town center, I would imagine. Or maybe they're all in the center over here. He's got some heavy axemen here. Heavy axemen. Still tier 1, though. Yeah, so I guess that might be about it. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this battle. Now, like I said, there is a lot of men in this battle, so we're going to try to utilize slow motion as much as possible when we're zoomed in. But I can't really think of a way that Thrones of Britannia is going to be able to optimize this many troops, but I'm just hoping that the battles will run a little bit more smoothly than Attila and its mods. But 1212 is just such a nice mod, I can't stop uploading it, so hopefully you guys are enjoying this content as well. So enough rambling on from me, let's get to the actual battle. Alright guys, welcome to the battle, and we've cut out about 25 minutes of bombardment and setup, but I'm now getting my Spadaccini inside the city. You can see I have a number of siege towers that are here to do the job. And I think I have a few units of my late period Spadaccini on there as well. I'm not exactly sure. This one does look to be a little bit of a late period unit. Let me just check real quick. What is this unit coming off? Yes, it is a late period unit, so that's excellent. So Hemdog, he's got a couple units of his Black Spearmen in Spear Wall over here that are holding the line. And then over on this flank, he also has another unit of Black Spearmen that's on the walls to defend this side. But as you guys can see, I have more than enough towers to get units inside the city. I've also got a couple of other units over here that are going to be capturing this gate. And I'm going to be pushing on this other double line of both Vlach Spearmen with some of Max Laser's Pavis Spearmen over here as well. And the Pavis Spearmen aren't in Testudo, which is really surprising. It probably would be a good idea for them to get into Testudo, but I'm not really interested in pushing forwards just yet. I'm kind of just getting all my men into position. But it looks like we already had the Bastion Ballista break, which is kind of funny. Obviously, they're going to break. But we've got some of the Vlach crossbowmen as well that seem to be firing down onto my Spadaccini. But I'm going to be very careful to put most of my Spadaccini into shield wall if I can. That will just kind of protect them from the crossbow fire. You can see this one has already lost 20 men just making it into the city, or the outer edges of the city. But we've got some reinforcements that have been brought up. Some Tier 2 Musneni have come over here, and the Vlach Spears have actually fallen back, which is a good plan because I don't think he expected that I would be able to outflank them like this. But he has his unit of Musneni. The only problem is that I'm going to be able to get right in behind both of these setup units of spears. So he's going to have to push forwards quickly if he wants to keep me from causing some attack in the rear debuffs. Let's go ahead and put this again on slow motion. It's going to be pretty framey otherwise. I'll try and do what I usually do and kind of cut out parts of the battle that really just aren't of any interest or isn't of any... Yeah, let's just leave it at that. It's very late when I'm recording this. It's almost 2 in the morning. But yeah, if it's not of interest to anyone or we're just, you know, sitting around skirmishing or something, I'll just cut that bit out. But yes, this siege tower is actually very crucial because I'm able to get a lot of my Spadaccini up and behind the enemy lines. And this unit of Musneni has not been set up properly yet. And I've already got another unit of late Spadaccini pushing in over here. You can see that Hamdog is trying to react quickly enough and bring this unit of Vlach Spearmen out. But I'm going to charge in my unit of Spadaccini over here to make sure that they do not get a favorable position. He luckily did form Spear Wall, but it's not going to help him because I've got another unit coming in from behind. But yeah, a lot of siege towers that I have over here. So we're doing pretty well on this flank. Again, I haven't even engaged over here yet. I'm just, you know, capturing the gates. I think I've got a couple of these, this unit at least, that's being fired upon in shield wall. I'll go ahead and put this back to play. Hohenmaster is also capturing this section of the gate as well, so it looks like we've got some of his troops that will be pushing forwards. He's got some of his sword milice here. And I think we're going to see a couple more units come through the gates as well. Yes, we are. Oh, and the gates just randomly disappeared like that. Come on, home Darbs. Come inside. And it actually looks like this force here got hit pretty hard by Hohenmaster's artillery. These Musneni down to 88 men, this one 99. The Kirteni foot archers have lost some. The spears have lost some. Looks like only the militia that's still intact. But we do have some heavy axemen from Max Laser over here that are pushing forwards to meet the sword milice that have conquered the inside of the walls. But this is pretty much where the scrap is. You can see that the Vlach Spearmen are still holding in shield wall, which is excellent, or spear wall. But my Spadaccini are also in shield wall as I push them into melee. And I'm just able to kind of flood more and more infantry in between. Hamdog had to move back this unit of Lock Spears just to try to hold the line, but they're losing quite a bit of men. They're already wavering. But I do respect that Hamdog is trying to hold the outer walls. Too many times, you know, we just pull back and try to hold, you know, a better position or the town center or something. But it is nice to kind of see, you know, some fighting for the actual walls, which is really good. And that's why I like to have low artillery battles as well. Battles that, you know, where the attacker doesn't have 2 RD pieces each, because then it just ends up, what's the point fighting for the walls, right? All the towers are gone. So, you know, 1 RD piece per attacker is plenty, and then, you know, the defenders can always have their catapults if they wish, but yeah, we're doing really solid over here. I've got 3 more units of Spadaccini that are over on this flank, but I am forcing these Vlach Spearmen back. But there we go. Max Laser has put his Pavese Spearmen into the stationary testudo. So they're going to hold for quite a while, and it looks actually like the Vlach Spears are going to be trying to pull back behind their brothers' lines. But there we go. Oh, some big kills there on the lightly armored Vlach Spears at the hands of my Spadaccini. Very nice. And now we're going to hit the Pavese Spear wall and try to crack the Polish will, but they are going to be quite strong. Pavese shields in 1212 are a very good choice in a siege battle. And it looks like we got some of these axemen that are going to be pushing in to help out these spears. Now, they still are in testudo. Excellent. Okay. And those poor Vlach spearmen are pushing back in on this side. Looks like we got some more routing over here from the spear militia. Oh, yeah, actually, Hohen Master, he's actually got a lot of his men inside the city here. I did not see that. So let's go ahead and put that to play. And we've got some spear militia fighting the sword militia over here. Unfortunately, these spear militia do not have a chance. But when have they ever, right? Now we've got another unit of spear militia over here. Or sorry, these are axemen that have just formed up, I think. Yes, they are axemen. So we've got the late period sword militia moving in. We've got some of the archer sergeants from Greater Poland. Looks like they were up on this hilltop over here, but they pulled down the hill because I'm well aware to keep most of my men away from this hillside. But I did not know that there was some graves up here. That's actually really, really cool. So this must be like some kind of burial ground. Anyways, let's see what's going on over here. Ooh, Hohen Master actually taking quite a bit of fire on his sword militia. Luckily, he has put them into shield wall, but some good positioning by Max Laser's crossbow militia have just been firing right at the flank, at the left side even, which is usually the best side to attack a sworded unit with. Yeah, but these axemen are going to have a tough time against the sword militia of the Latin Empire. Oh, you can hear the crossbow bolts coming down on these poor men. But Hohen Master, he's being pretty smart. He's not pulling all of his men in just yet. He's kind of moving them in about 10 at a time, which is a good plan. I would be moving ahead with these sword militia, though. This is just spear militia, and there he goes. Yeah, that's a good plan. Another unit of spear militia here. I would tie this unit up if I can, and then maybe flank right around with these Fratres Milites Templi. The only problem is that they're being focused down by the crossbows at this point. So he's going to have to be careful there. And how are we looking over here? It doesn't look like anyone is pushed in at this point. But just look at all this cavalry. This is a really good city for having high cavalry for the defenders, because there is a lot of room to be able to move. So we're going to see some good cavalry charges in this battle. But I am finally breaking this section over here. You can see that a couple of my units of Spadaccini have taken pretty fair amount of losses. But we've got some high period Mosneni over here now that are holding back the tides. And I have to be careful here not to clump up my forces too much. But the Spadaccini, I think that they're going to do pretty solidly against the Mosneni. The Mosneni that are tier 2, I just don't think that they have as high of stats as my high period units. Actually, we can look at that right now if we were really curious about it. So the Mosneni, they got 24 melee attack, 32 melee damage. Oh, it's exactly the same. But I have more melee defense, I have more missile block, and I have more armor. So that's really where we're going to have the edge. But at the same time, where Hamdog's going to have the edge is with his crossbows. And as you can see, I'm trying to pull a lot of my units to kind of be protected by these little buildings here, these little hovels, because those crossbows are doing some work. Look, 72 kills and 47 kills. We got 19 kills with the Curteni archers already. And it looks like one of my units of Spadaccini is already broken over here. So this Mosneni Pavis combo over here is doing its job. Let's see if we can get a lower shot there, just across the heads of the men. Oh, steel yourselves, you Poles and Bazards. I don't even know where they would originate from. I'd imagine they're Slavic or possibly closely aligned with the Rus. But yeah, these poor axemen are getting cut down. Over here on this section, it looks like his axemen are having a tough time. Now, they are only tier 1 axemen, as I said, but we've got a fresh unit that's coming over to this side to help out. And yeah, it looks like the spear militia have been completely broken. Unfortunately, it looks like there's nothing over here to defend the crossbow militia from this sword milice, aside from that unit of spear militia that has already been broken. However, over here, the sword milice is starting to waver just due to the fact that these crossbow militia have just been getting so many good flanking shots at them. Luckily, he did charge in time to kind of prohibit Max Laser from putting his Pavis Spearmen into shield wall, but I really don't think it's going to matter, unfortunately. These sword milice are pretty depleted, and I think their morale is quite low. And what do we have coming up from behind over here? Actually, a unit of sword milice has kind of broken through. Looks like we've got some spear militia that are falling back to try and stop or save his archers over here. But we've even got some cavalry that's coming around the flanks over here. We've got another unit of sword milice. So this whole section is going to fall very, very soon if they don't get some more troops to the front line. And it looks like we're already capturing this first capture point at the plaza, which is excellent. And at this point, I'm going to get my crossbows in. I tried to get them in by going up the multitude of siege towers I have here, but they decided that they wanted to go around to the gates. So I'll just let them do their thing. But over here, I'm actually about to break through as well. We've got one of the units of Mosneni that are coming back from routing, but this other one is completely surrounded at this point. And wow, look at that slideshow. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, so these Mosneni are basically fighting back-to-back at this point, because my Spadaccini are able to push pretty hard on both flanks now, because there isn't enough men to block this entire street from the tide of the Italians. And if you guys hear any sniffs or voice cracks, or if my voice starts to sound a little raspy, I am still sick, but I am on the mend, which is good. I've got some water and some tea with me as well, so hopefully that'll get me through the next 48 minutes of this battle. But yeah, at this point, there's really not much else here. Oh, it looks like Hamdog's bringing in another unit of Musneni up to block this street, so that's good. He's also bringing some more infantry over to help out. But I would be really concerned about this flank. These Pavi spearmen are starting to be shaken because of the casualties that they've taken. And there is nothing else around here to stop us from coming through. However, it looks like Max Laser has gotten things under control on his flank to a degree. This unit of Pavi spearmen is kind of safeguarding this street here. However, on this side, this very dangerous unit of shock cavalry can make short work of these two units that are trying to sandwich this unit of sword milice. In fact, I'm not even sure if Hohen was aware that they were going to sandwich him like this. He's probably microwing in other areas of the battle. Come on, Hohen, bring forwards your cav. Although, these sword milice will probably be able to handle these two units anyways without much help, so... And how are we doing over on this side? A lot of sword milice are dead over here behind these lines. And is that unit breaking? Oh no, it's just pulling back. Ah, yes, Max Laser is actually getting a flank here with this Pavi Spearman. So at this point, Hohen Master, he needs to get some more units in here. At the risk of being fired upon, I think it's just a good option. But it looks like we've got a charge over here. Some slow motion Pavi Spearmen moving into melee against this sword milice. Both of them are exhausted though, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out the victor. But over here as well, unfortunately, it looks like these sword milice that are trying to hold this plaza capture point are going to be outflanked. Unit of axemen moving in behind, and the spear militia holding out front. Actually, look at this guy. If we can put this on slow motion so he doesn't jump around so much. Wow. It's got like a little peacock headdress on the top. Looking very nice. But yeah, there they go into wedge formation, and now they're just going to charge right into the backs of this sword milice unit. So Hohen at this point, he's a little stretched. He needs to get some more infantry in to prevent things like this from happening. Because we're losing a lot of men right now. Oh, this axeman's gonna get a kill. Nice. I went to end zoom there, but I used the mouse wheel for some reason. Oh, what's this, though? This guy's gonna get another kill. Wow, this guy's a veteran axeman over here. Poland's finest. Oh, but what's this? Is this spear... or this sword milice guy gonna get a kill? Nah, it doesn't look like it. Yep, so there's the Polish banner. So Poland is starting to capture this again. So that was basically all for nothing. The only benefit is that Max Laser has used a lot of his ammo. About half ammo with all of his archers. He is bringing forward some halberdiers, though. But yes, I have broken through completely on this flank now. So there is a unit of archers here that's a little bit concerning. And I am... well, I'll say it. I am clumping over here. This is kind of unacceptable. I shouldn't have this many units fighting this one unit of Musneni. I just really wanted to push through with everything I had. Yeah, a lot of my Spadaccini. I need to get all of these guys into shield wall ASAP, because here's these Curtieni foot archers that are just going to have a heyday firing into my men. Luckily, some of them are obstructed just due to the fact that this Mosneni unit is still in front of most of my troops. But they should be able to fire up over top. And there comes my returning crossbow fire as well. Yeah, these guys got some nice shields. Really interesting shields. And what do we got over here? Looks like we got some Vlach Spearmen. Some more Vlach Spearmen coming to the battle. And we got a unit of Pavi Spearmen here with some Mosneni and a lot of Halberdiers. So as we kind of encounter more of the defenders, it's becoming more of a staunch defense. So I'm going to have to slow down, kind of rest my units. You can see that they're so exhausted that they're already wavering. And just get them into shield wall if I can. See, I've got a number of tiers now. They're all in shield wall, which is excellent. Over here, I've also got a couple units in shield wall. But here comes Hohenmaster now. He's finally pulling in the rest of his forces. So I think he has conquered enough of the city that he's able to confidently move his troops in without them just being sitting ducks to archer fire. But yeah, look at that. All three of my units are just breaking due to this one unit of Curtieni foot archers. And we've got a nice little defensive formation here with these Vlach spears. We've got like a three-pronged defensive U-shape almost. But I don't think I'm going to wait around for us to just get shot up. I'm going to move them in shield wall into melee. Or maybe I'm not. I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like Hamdog is going to go on the offensive here. Very interesting. Charging in with this Mosneni into my shield wall. That was a very gutsy move. Because not only did he charge my shield wall when he is not in shield wall, but all of these archers and this crossbow unit that he's going to be pulling up, most of them are going to be obstructed. But at the same time, he's actually wavering this depleted unit of Spadaccini. Luckily, I have another unit in shield wall that's going to push in just in time. Let's put this on slow motion once again. It's so much better to watch the battles in slow motion just because you can actually see what's going on. Fight, my Italians, fight! We must break these Bazard Vlach peasants. We got Mosneni, more Vlach peasants over here. How we doing on this side? Looks like we haven't moved in yet, and it looks like Hamdog is moving back some of his forces, so I'm not sure if he is a little bit worried that he will be outflanked, or more, he may actually be worried about this wall up here. Because if Hohen can get some crossbows set up on there, then a lot of these units are just going to be ripped apart. But yeah, not much is happening on Hohen's side, to be honest.
Our forces have found their courage.
And this is just a bit of a grind fest here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bit of a cut, and then once we move forwards a little bit further, and things kind of start to take off on all fronts, then we'll come back and hopefully finish the battle. Alright guys, welcome back, and I did make a bit of a cut there, but Hohenmaster has now pushed over along this little sea road here of the town, basically the port access road, from where he did capture the gate. So now he is engaging Hamdog's little flanking force that's over here. You can see that we've got the Mosneni spears moving into melee, and we've got a unit of Homed Arms over here that is looking to push in against this unit of spear militia. But look at this, Hamdog has actually put his unit of Vitier Vitzia or Vitezi. I don't know how to pronounce these guys, but he's actually lined them up right in behind, and look like just quick as lightning, he's moved them right in behind to slam into Hohenmaster's Home d'Arms, which is going to be a pretty big blow. These Home d'Arms are tier 1, you have to remember, so their morale is quite low, and now they're being forced onto these Mozneni spears over here. And it looks like these peasants even are giving the Home d'Arms a run for their money. A couple of them are being hit down, though, by the archers that Hohenmaster has positioned just in behind. Oh, right in the side for that peasant there. Yeah, he is dead for sure. But here we go. We got a nice clash from this unit of mounted Fratres Milites Templi. So the Vitegi, or Vitezii, if anyone knows how to pronounce that, please let me know. But they are engaged against the Fratres Milites Templi, and the Bazard cavalry is tier 3, so they actually may do better than the Templi will. It'll be interesting to find out, but look at this. We've got another unit that's probably going to do the exact same thing and just sneak right in around this little dock area. And it's going to get right in behind this sword milice that is holding here. Yep, running right through the dock. Oh, man. And I think that Hohen did try to stretch out his unit over here, but it wasn't letting him. But the cavalry is able to just come right in from behind. And look at that. They're going to line up, and then they're going to charge right into the back of this sword milice. Or are they going to change targets? Where are they going for? Oh, he's going for like kind of a diagonal charge. Just ruining all of these units. And if we see, yeah, look at all the wavering that's happening on Hohenmaster's side here. This flanking force has pretty much been obliterated. This unit of sword milice is holding, though, on this side against the spear militia. Let's zoom out and see what's happening in other areas of the battle. So yeah, this has pretty much been wiped out. He's even going after some of the elite foot Turcopoles that have moved in. We've got another unit of Templi that's trying to hold this cavalry back, but they are doing wonders for the defense of the city. But other than that, you didn't really miss anything. Everything else is still pretty calm. Hohen has moved over to guard this flank with his Home d'Arms, but they are getting picked apart quite nicely. And for me in the center, it actually looks like I'm just starting to clean up this fight. Basically, all that happened was that Hamdog and I kept funneling more and more of our men in, and my men would break, and I would put them in shield wall, and then just send them right back into melee. But yeah, we cut out about 7 minutes there, so hopefully that was 7, well, it was 7 minutes that you guys really didn't need to see, that's for sure. But yeah, now we've got these poor archers that are in melee trying to hold their own. Oh, and that guy's being thrown over the shield. Yep, onto the ground. Nice, nice. So these archers shouldn't last long. I think they didn't have any more ammo, though. No, they don't. And then the next thing I have to contend with is these Pavi spearmen that are blocking this flank, and some Vlach spearmen that are blocking this flank. But the Polish still have pretty much all of their halberdiers at full strength, and there are a lot of units that still have ammo. Max Laser has been very smart. He saved his other half of his ammo. And I think we're going to be moving in over here very slowly. I've got my bombard crew over here as well. They're going to lead the charge. Looks like this one guy over here. Oh, no, we've actually got some fighting. Nice. Let's see how well they fare against the archer sergeants of the Polish king. Nice! Knocking down some of the archer sergeants. And this guy's getting his butt kicked by a bombard crew. Look how heavily armored you are, man. Well, that is embarrassing. Whew. I would be telling my buddies not to say anything about that one, that's for sure. But here come my Spadaccini, moving slowly into melee as well. Let's take a look at the man count as well as we put it back onto play. So we both started with about just under 9,000 men. The enemies actually had 200 more men than we did. However, a lot of their forces are militia troops, so they do have a higher man count per unit than we do. But the enemies are down to 4,800. We still have 6,300. So even though Hohen's flanking force was destroyed, we still do have the man advantage. Whoops. Sorry, I fell off the house there with the camera. And how are we looking over here? I think that, yeah, Hohen is pretty much out of the game over here. We've got a bombard crew coming over to take out this elite unit of cav, but that's probably not going to happen. But these sword militia are now fighting pretty much with their backs to the water. And we've got the Mozneni spearmen over here. They're already up to 51 kills. So yeah, none of these units are probably going to make it out of here alive. But that's okay, because it is tying up quite a bit of the Bazard's roster, or the Bazard, excuse me, the Bazard's army, because he does have about 10 units down here, and he only had 2 units of cav, and they're both down here as well. So it's pretty much just kind of holding them for as long as we can. Now over here we've got another unit of these Mozneni spearmen that have pushed in to help out their Vlok spearmen brothers. And I'm also in range of this arrow tower over here, so it's going to be getting a lot of kills on my men. However, my Spadaccini, both of them are in shield wall. But we've got some crossbow fire coming down on them as well. Hold, men, hold. Break these spearmen who think that they are pikemen. Yet their pikes are like 4 feet too short. Oh, man. A couple of those guys getting hit really hard by archer fire. And I think he's trying to fire on them so as they retreat, they won't come back to, won't kind of rally. But there we go. They've rallied again, so I'm going to put them into shield wall and then push them right back into melee again. And over here, I'm pushing against these Pavi spears. Looks like we got some of the heavy axemen in melee as well. But my poor Spadaccini, like, they have taken the brunt of this attack. They've been the ones that have been paving the way for our conquering of the city. I'm starting to move in my Lancia Sargente, though, because I'm definitely going to need them against the Mozneni spears. And I'm bringing forwards my Piscieri as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at some real pikemen as they come in through the gate here. Oh yes, there they are. Now that is a pike. So I've got my 4 units of pikemen. I kind of kept them outside of the city until now. The reason for that is because I do not want them anywhere near crossbows or archers. I want them to be fully fully operational and ready for battle when I need them, but I don't want to be microing at some area of the battle and then turn around and for them to all be gone, which has happened to me before. Oh, looks like some more of my units are breaking. What a shock. It's probably the Spadaccini again. Yeah, they're just so exhausted. This unit's down to 35 men. They're still holding strong. Over here, this unit of Thraces Milites Templi is just getting annihilated by archer fire. I don't think Hohen realized that. He was probably looking at another area of the battlefield. But yeah, they're pretty much dead. Yeah, they've broken. Oh my goodness. But over here we've got some more homed arms that are fighting against, what do we got? Some axemen here, and some sergeants from Poland. There we go. So he does have some more of the elite units. He's got the sergeants over here. However, the homed arms should be more than a match for the axemen of Poland. They do have halberdiers that are in reserve as well. And all of his archers are here. Luckily, some of them are starting to run out of ammunition, which is what we want to see. And the balance of power is moving quite heavily into our favor. Although we do have about a 1,500 man advantage to them. 2 units of high halberdiers and 3 units of light halberdiers kind of kept back in reserve, as well as all this Polish cavalry as well. And I said as well twice. I've got to be careful. I hope I'm not developing some little safety phrases there. When people say like and I have to work so hard not to say when I'm recording. Sometimes it takes a little while for my brain to think about what my mouth wants to say.
The men are running. Stand and fight, damn you!
Just taking a couple screenshots of this Polish cav. I really like how it's down on the beaches, waiting for the call of the Polish king. Looks like we got some Vlock spearmen that are actually pushing forwards against my units of Spadaccini. I think these are my last 2 units, and they are fully operational. They've each got 120 units, or 120 men in the unit. And they should be more than a match for these spear peasants. Well, these spear militia, I guess. They're not really peasants because they are armed. They got, they got iron helmets and such, but then they're carrying, like, wooden shields. Like, rough wooden shields, like, not even painted, really. Here comes some more, even. How many... I wonder how many Vlock spearmen he actually brought, because there's, like, two more spears coming in to make it 3. He's also got his Mazneni spears over here. And we've got some Pavi spearmen from Poland. But you can see Hamdog, what he's doing here is he's trying to flank around with this unit of Vlock spearmen, but I'm trying to push my unit of Spadaccini. I have to bring them out of shield wall to stop them from flanking around. Because I'm also fighting a pretty hard fight over here with a couple units of Spadaccini. However, it looks like he is going to make it into my crossbows, which is a little bit frustrating. There we go. So my crossbows are now going to have to fight in melee. Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh. Stabbed right into the dirt there. It's kind of funny though, because my crossbows are so much more heavily armored than these Vlock spearmen. However, in Hamdog's defense, this is considered a severely lacking or underpowered faction, so it is nice that he plays as factions that not many people play as. But my archers are holding. They are holding. And these spears are having a tough time. Looks like we got some of the Mazneni spearmen trying to flank around, but I've got all of my crossbows up here. My Ballistari. Oh, and I've got to just put this on slow motion because I think I got a really nice shot into the back of all these spears that are firing. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful volley. And that's just going to shatter this light spear unit. Waiting for another volley to come in. There we go. A couple of them being shot down there. Oh, actually, a lot of them. And I think with the rest of my archers, I'm trying to focus these Mazneni spears over here, because I don't want them to see how they're setting up in a good position to pressure my flanks, and it's also opening up for the Polish spears to come through as well. So I think that's what I target next with my crossbows. But so much death in this one little area. We've been slogging it out in here, I'd say, for about 20 to 30 minutes. And I guess I lied. I have 2 more units of healthy Spadaccini that I'm going to be pushing into the gap. But yeah, look at that. The Mazneni spearmen dropping very rapidly to my archer fire. And my crossbows actually won against the block spearmen due to the help of some other crossbows that I had firing in their back. But that's a pretty good plan. I think Hemdog, he was going to bring some cavalry over there to help out, but it's just a lost cause at that point. I wouldn't really bother trying to push more men into that choke point. And over here, we're even getting in behind some of these high-period sergeants attacking some of the homed arms. But this very thin unit of sergeants is holding back, 2 units of Lancia Sargente and 2 units of Spadaccini. And there we go. Hohenmaster getting a nice flank with his sword Millis onto this unit of sergeants of the high period that was just sent to reinforce the Spadaccini that we're fighting here. And are we pushing through on any other areas? We're trying to over here. We're having a tough time. These axemen are actually proving to be harder than I thought. Plus, he actually does have 2 units of high-period sergeants here. Yeah, these heavy axemen, they've been in melee for a long time, and they've only got 19 kills. We got like this one, like a couple units of the Fratres Milites Templi in melee as well. I guess the survivors from that disgusting volley. But they're actually wavering, and we got the early period homed arms wavering, so Hohen, he's got to send up another unit here. Yes, he's bringing some dismounted Fratres Milites Templi, which is a smart thing to do, I think. But we've got 25 minutes left in this battle. And we're down to 5,000 men. They're down to 3,000 men. Balance of power still holding with us, holding strong. And we've actually got some of the buildings on fire now. Let's pop that onto slow motion. I'm going to give it a little bit longer, and then I'm going to make another cut to head us into the final stand, because I don't know, I don't want these siege battles to be like an hour and a half long. I usually try to keep them about under an hour if I can. Here we've got the archers. Pretty much the archers is the only thing holding us back here. These Critieni foot archers, who have 204 kills, by the way. That is really solid. And then this unit of Pavi spearmen here with 12 kills. Their backs are pressed to the buildings here. They're not really going to be able to hold us back for too long. But at the same time, I'm a little worried because these two units over here of Spadaccini are breaking to these high period Polish sergeants. So, if my flank breaks over here, then I'm 100% losing those crossbows that fought so bravely against the Vlach spearmen. Alright, let's put this back onto play. And yes, it looks like we got some of the high period halberdiers that are engaged in melee now. I'm quickly moving this unit of Lancia Sargente over to block this unit from holding us back. And you can see that they are quickly trying to pull back a lot of their units to the safety of their lines. But Hohenmaster is there with some more homed arms that he's going to try to flood into the gap to stop them so that they cannot escape. We've got some more retreating by these crossbow militia, so they're pulling back. Basically, they're almost out of city now. We've conquered about more than 50% of the city. I'd say maybe 60 to 65%. And all of my pikes are still healthy, but I'm starting to have to send in my spears now. And after my spears are gone, I've got my pikes and my foot condottieri, and I'm out of infantry. But it looks like Hohenmaster is faring a little better. He's got a lot of his elite units still left. And look at this. We've got these heavy axemen actually going onto the walls here in Attila, and then they will actually be able to push back in and around. So, little tips and tricks there. So if you need to get a unit around, if you place them onto the walls, and then select kind of down the walls, they will be able to outflank units, which I think was driving Hohenmaster nuts a little bit, because they were getting behind his men, you know, at every turn. There we go. There's some early period homed arms from the Latin Empire being pushed into the gap. Alright guys, so pretty much we've got these 3 choke points underway. So I'm going to make another quick cut, and we're going to come back as soon as these choke points have broken, and we're pressuring them against their final stand at the keep. Alright guys, I think that's going to be the last cut that I've had to make, and again, it was only a couple of minutes, not too much that you guys missed. But we basically pushed them back to one of the last streets before we start to climb that very, very imposing Acropolis up there on that rocky hillside there. Most of Hemdog's elite infantry is still up there, so we've definitely got quite a bit of work for us to do. He's got 2 units of his pikes, 4 units of his Mosneni, and it looks like a lot of Max Laser's archers are up on this little hillside, getting some really nice flanking shots again down onto all of my Spadaccini. And these Pavi spears, again, they haven't got really any kills. They've only got 1 kill right now under their belt, but they're holding back 4 of my units with not really that much trouble. But our man count right now, it's 4,100 for us and 2,200 for them. So we definitely look like we do have the advantage. But here comes these very deadly Polish knights that we did not see until it was a little bit too late. the unit of sergeants over here is holding us from reinforcing. So it looks like he is going to go and get a little bit of a charge into the homed arms over here, which is going to cause a bit of problems, but luckily I had my Jeune de Cheval inside the city, and I'm going to send them in to try and tie up this unit of cavalry if I can. Unfortunately, I did not know that there was more than one unit of cavalry, and this poor unit of homed arms has sacrificed themselves so that I can form my stationary testudo with this unit of Lancia Sargente. However, on this side, I have another unit of spears that's fighting this very elite unit of halberdiers, but we're getting wrecked over here. We're losing a lot of lives. But these are the last 2 choke points that they are holding. Well, 3 I should say, because they're holding pretty well with these halberdiers. And all of my men are starting to waver over there, just due to the fact of that excellent positioning of the crossbows. What do we have over here? It looks like we have some Mosneni spearmen, actually, that are fighting my unit of Lancia Sargente. So these 2 units are pretty much trapped. They can't go anywhere, and they are in desperate need of assistance. More cycle charges from the Polish knights coming in. I think I'm trying to pull through my Jeune de Cheval. Pull through these Polish knights. But yet here comes another unit. This is Hamdog's Vitezzi, or Vitezzi, that's still alive. There we go, though. That unit of Vitezzi is about to break. And we've got some halberdiers flanking around us, so it's just the battle of the flanks right now. It's hard to know which way to turn. We're trying to micro on one flank, and then we look around, and oh, there's another unit behind us, or oh, they managed to sneak a cavalry unit here. We got over here a really depleted unit of homed arms fighting a really depleted unit of halberdiers. And the halberdiers look like they may lose this one, actually, if we put this into slow motion. Oh, man. Oh, somehow that guy lost his head, but he hit him with the staff. I guess he was just so strong that the head just blew off from sheer force. Who actually won that battle? Oh, they both broke at the same time. That's pretty funny. Now we look at over here. Another unit of halberdiers just destroying this early period homed arms unit. And here with this unit of spears, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull through them so that I can attack them from behind. That will kind of break their formation a little bit, and it will cause them to have a morale loss because they'll be attacked from behind. But right now their morale is still holding strong at 42, which is pretty crazy. And I wonder how many kills this arrow tower has gotten, because now with these 2 choke points that they're holding here, it's able to fire at both of them. And my spears are starting to waver. Again, another unit of Vitezzi. I think it's that same unit managed to escape, and it's breaking my spears. And over here, these Polish knights are still holding against my Jeune de Cheval. They have 113 kills. My Jeune de Cheval have 21. This unit that's breaking has 12. And this unit is 41. But if this battle is anything, it's a colorful battle, that's for sure. The Jeune de Cheval want to look nice for the battle. Of course you're winning. You're Polish knights. only got 1 unit of spears now. All of the rest of my infantry have broken. However, I think I am moving my pikes forwards yet, but I haven't engaged them yet. And I've got my general's bodyguard with his elite foot condottieri, sorry. They are here right at the beginning of the gate, and it looks like they've been activated now because we have an opening to the keep. So they are going to be pushing forwards to try to get some kills before the battle is over. Yeah, we're breaking these spears. Excellent. Now, keep in mind, though, that all of this cavalry over here, like, all this cavalry is hidden. So we were not aware that they had this much cavalry that were kind of hold back on the beach. And just like that, a lot of my cavalry has been destroyed. Got a unit of halberdiers here that was able to be freed up. I think it flanked around.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
But even still, with all of the good positioning and battlefield awareness that the defenders have put up, we've still got a 2-to-1 ratio, so we've got a 1,500 man count on them. And there we go. Finally, those spears break, and look at my men. Huzzah! Huzzah! Well, save your cheering for the end, because it's not done yet, guys. You still have to climb a massive mountain, basically. Still under fire from crossbows. And what I'm going to do with these guys is send them right for that tower to take that tower out. Because it has been firing on us enough in this siege. If only we could just break these halberdiers, then that will pretty much be it for their city defense. They'll have to push back to the keep. They won't be able to hold.
Enemy forces have destroyed an entire unit.
Oh my goodness, yes, I got a nice charge with that really depleted unit of Gens de Cheval. 11 men left in that unit, and we got in behind these halberdiers. And one of them is actually wavering, which is really good. And I broke one of them just in time. Gave the other one quite a few losses as well. And here come my pikemen. My elite Piscieri. This one's already got a kill somehow, probably from a retreating unit. But yeah, now we're down to this last stand here, basically, which is mostly Hamdog's forces.
We are the hard cases here.
We are the hard cases here. Well, you know what? We're going to find out. We are going to find out just how battle-hardened you guys are. And you saved all your civilians, too. They're all up here at the town center. They think they're safe, but they are wrong. They are so wrong.
Cheer up! They died today!
The general's bodyguard's way back here at the top of the keep. Nice and safe. But my pikes are pushing in, which is excellent. I'm going to use my pikes to break the town center formation, because that's pretty much all I have at this point. These are my last 2 units of spears, I believe, and we're struggling to take this tower here. Come on, raise the banner. Quick, quick, quick. For the Kingdom of Sicily. There we go.
The enemy's tower has been destroyed!
After all the murders that tower has committed upon Sicilian lives, they will no longer be able to fire arrows from that infernal tower. And now what I'm doing is, because I've seen a couple of these units of cavalry, is I'm actually moving my Lancia Sargente to block them onto the beach so that they won't be able to flank around us when we're, you know, going up that massive slope there. But my pikemen are starting to take quite a few fair losses to these crossbows. We're having some issues here with the pathfinding, as you guys are no doubt aware of. Just point blank firing on my pikemen. And here come the Muzneni spears. They're going to form up very quickly. But they're not going to be able to do too much work against my pikemen. You can see the difference in the range of the pikes. They're not even close to reaching us, and we're just cutting them down. It's quite sad if you are rooting for the defenders. Man, it's almost 3 in the morning. What have I gotten myself into? Oh no, we've got some of the peasants coming through too. Yeah, look at a couple of them flying onto the pikes. That is rough. Let's actually put that on slow motion for a little bit, since we only have 8 minutes left in the battle. Oh, so many dead. Look at them starting to pile up. A couple of these guys are still alive on the ground. They're just looking up at the forest of pikes. Oh, bodies are piling on top of each other. This is just a massacre. What are these things here? Oh, spear militia. Yeah. Well, what can you do? What can you do against such reckless hate? You can pray. Pray for your miserable lives. But yes, someone's attacking my general. Yeah, I'm getting fired upon. The King of Sicily is in danger. And here we are. You can see we've got some of the sword millers blocking this road over here. I'm moving over my Lancia Sargente over onto this side. And I'm trying to bait this cavalry unit into charging, because I want these Polish knights to be tied up so that I can kind of clamp them in from both sides. But what I don't see is that there's another unit of cav that's actually moving back and probably will be flanking around shortly. So yeah, I'm like, nope, not a good idea. I'm going to move back to where I was before. But this is a really nice shot as well. We got the foot condottieri with my general's bodyguard. And they are just cheering. Cheering. We got all the foot Turcopoles as well for Hohenmaster here. But let's kind of watch this last stand here. This is what most people are going to find interesting, instead of me just going around and showing you what we have left. Let's look at the man count, though, real quick. 2,774 to 1,081. So they have just over 1,000 men left. But my units of pikes are... This one's getting pretty depleted. It's kind of... It's forming this little box or square here. My other unit has more men, so it's spread out more evenly. But the Muzneni are not even going to be able to pose much of a threat over here, because we're just going to be able to push through. There we go. Yep, they've broken.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
It looks like he's putting them into loose formation, which is probably smart. He would probably get less casualties then. Oh, he's actually charging it. No! Oh, the pain. Oh, that was rough. He's going to try and retreat there. That might have been a misclick. But at this point, I just don't think he realizes that he can't do anything against these pikes. Oh, but that was brutal. Got a couple of the units just fighting here in melee. Oh, very clever though. He's actually pulled back his Mosneni, and I don't notice this, and he's just firing into them with what's left of his crossbow ammo. So yeah, that is a bit of a problem for me, actually. I should probably move in a little bit quicker. Here we go, starting to push in. And we have the foot Turco poles as well that are cresting the hill. They're going to be offering some much needed fire into the ranks of these Mosneni. Much to Hamdog's chagrin, I should say. Because there's really nowhere to hide, so we're not just going to pick them apart with crossbows. Like, I do have a lot of my crossbows as well, but I've just pulled them back. And I'm just going to finish this with the good old-fashioned melee. Oh man, they're going to run onto the pikes once again here. Ooh, yeah, that's painful. Oh my goodness, that entire unit was just wiped out. Let's end zoom back onto there as well. Oh man, so many dead. This has got to be my favorite part of Total War, is just the last stand. It's just so desperate. Yeah, there is nothing they're going to be able to do. And down here as well, my general's bodyguard is actually in melee. The Polish knights managed to break through my spears, or actually I moved them down onto the beach and formed square with them, because there was 2 units of Polish knights pressing on them, but then they actually just went right around and went for the King of Sicily. So the brave king is actually in combat right now. I have no idea where he is, nor do I remember what he looks like. But I know that he is in there. And by doing so, he's protecting everybody that's up on the hilltop trying to capture the town center. And I do have I have a unit of pikemen back here as well that are protecting my general, but I'm actually going to pull them back just in case my general breaks. I'm going to form up a nice position over here facing downwards. So pretty much that way we are 100% going to win. But here comes my foot condottieri at this point, so there's not really going to be anything that the Bazard Voivode is going to muster that's going to defeat me. Sicily and the Latin Empire will be victorious in this very long siege. So let me know, guys. I'm always interested in your feedback, but with these extra long sieges, would you like to see more cuts? Would you like to see less cuts? I probably wouldn't really be receptive to doing less cuts, just because, you know, these sieges can get extremely drawn out. But if you'd like to see more cuts, maybe get it down to half an hour, but just showing you like the meaty and kind of nitty-gritty parts of it. But then if we get into a prolonged melee and I show you this for this exact image, for example, if I show you this for like, 10 or 20 seconds, then we just make another cut, we can definitely do that to kind of cut down these sieges. But hopefully I made enough cuts to not make it unbearably long. But in a last-ditch effort, Hamdog CDXX has dismounted his general's bodyguard, and they are fighting in melee as we speak. You can see them there in the blue and gold. But this is a victory for the Kingdom of Sicily and the Latin Empire. Really good battle, really fun battle. But unfortunately, if you guys were rooting for the defenders, this is a case where the defenders did not win. There we go, Pyrrhic victory. Let's end the replay, take a look at the results. So starting with my army there, I'm just going to outline the highest kills for moving in right at the very end. To get 398 kills is really solid. Even 143, 122 is really good. A couple of my units is Spadaccini, 329, 311, 169. My later period did okay. Crossbows not as high of kills as I would have liked, and my Jeune de Cheval didn't do well. Looking at Hohen's, a lot of his dismounted Templi didn't even make it into melee, but the Homed Arms of the early period, 2 of these units getting 150 kills, that's really solid. And his Sword Mill is 210, 236, 410. Wow, that's the record so far. 410. And a couple units of his Turcopoles doing well. 232 with the Bombard. Looking at Max Laser's force, his cavalry he did excellent with. The Spear Militia didn't really get many kills, but they rarely do. A couple units of his Halberdiers doing solid. Axemen 119, not bad. Sergeants 234. And his crossbows getting really high kills. And then Hamdog 361, 335 with his crossbows, well done. And his Vitegi, really high kills with them. But a lot of these Vlock Spearmen really didn't do too much. And his Mozeni Spearmen, not really high kills. However, I did play a battle against Hamdog where I played as England, and we actually lost that battle. And he played as the Bazard Voivode, and one of those Mozneni spears got over 400 kills. So I really just think it depends on positioning and what units you're fighting. But pretty solid faction here, I do have to say. So yeah, my voice is just about to give out, so thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this epic battle. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one.